My name is Joseph Reynolds out of LowKick MMA. Today joining me is Germany's #1 ahead of October 15th on Octagon MMA. It's seen as the #1 contenders bout as Stephan Puetz. How are you feeling today, buddy?
Hey, thank you for the invitation. Thank you for the for the interview opportunity. Feeling good. I'm in fight week, cutting the last kilos. So October 15th, not far away.
Yeah, and we take a look at this fight. Obviously, it's been described as a #1 contenders bout, and the title shot is up next. Just
Now it was stucking. Sorry.
no, that's no problem. So obviously, being ranked as Germany's #1 and seeing the progression of MMA in Germany as well, do you feel as though having that spot in the promotion that you do as well, do you feel as though you're one of the key representatives almost of German MMA at the moment? Obviously, a big name back in Germany. A lot of people are really excited to see you back in there as well. So do you feel as though at the moment that this is the best that Germany's been MMA-wise?
Yes, definitely. So Octagon brought like a huge opportunity to fill big venues here in Germany with a big name and a brand who understands to promote fighting sport. They do a lot of media work and they understood how important media work is.
Yeah, we take a look at Octagon MMA. Obviously, they're providing huge opportunities, and they've been a real dark horse promotion at the moment. The way that they're coming through, the way that they are, especially now in Central Europe as well, as mentioned with Germany, even UK, Spain, places like that. So to also have now this shot being one fight away from a title shot as well, does that further motivate you to keep on going? Obviously, going into the championship bout, that your opponent, he's also got the name Terminator in a sense. So do you feel as though it's a big fight coming up for you?
Yeah, I had a title shot 1 year ago already. I got stopped by a doctor stoppage. Octagon wanted to do like a rematch for it, and unfortunately, my opponent Victor Pesta quit the fight on short notice 2 or 3 times, and so I decided not to take the title fight, but to fight first Martin Zawada, and now they offered me the fight against Milos Petrasek. So it's my decision that I'm ready to fight another super fight in between because I want to stay active, because they want to bring the title fight against Vemola in a huge venue like with 20,000 people, also maybe in Frankfurt, and Frankfurter Festhalle is a bit too small for that, so that's the reason why I fight Milos Petrasek first.
Yeah, and we take a look at obviously Milos Petrasek a little bit. Obviously, the most experienced opponent that he's had, and probably on paper as well, the most skillful opponent, and then in general. So do you feel as though you are going to be his toughest test that he's had to date? And how do you feel that he's going to fare in there with you?
Yeah, I had very good preparation. I always focus on myself. Of course, there are some aspects we pay attention to, analyzing our opponents, but in general, it's the game I want to print on the fight. So I focus on my opponents, but I rather prefer to evolve my game instead of focusing too much what my opponents does.
Yeah, and then just to touch on MMA Spirit a little bit, it's a phenomenal gym with some great pros in there and amateurs as well. So to train in, day out with those sort of people, seeing their progression as fighters, what's that like as sort of a motivator for a fighter, seeing the top level people that are in there?
Yeah, it's a phenomenal gym. I moved from Munich to Frankfurt because of that gym, because I trained before all aspects in single places. I had to organize everything by myself, and MMA Spirit made it possible to work as a professional athlete, everything with under one roof, and it's like I'm just blessed to have the opportunity to train in a team with people like Daniel Weichel, Max Koga, Christian Eckerlin, Saba Bulagi. There's so many good fighters, not only in MMA, also in kickboxing and boxing. And yeah, it's a big opportunity, and it's one of the leading MMA gyms in Europe, I would say.
100%. And then we take a look back at the fight as well. We've already mentioned, obviously, the Octagon MMA crowd, they absolutely enjoy the fights. Every card you can hear them every time. So do you get a bit of a buzz from the crowd every time that you're in there? Obviously, they're very loud and vocal when you do see them. So would you say you can sort of feed off their energy a little bit when you're in the cage, or do you just shut that sort of stuff out when you get into the cage?
Yes, definitely. Frankfurt was sold out last time. It was like a crazy atmosphere. It was electrizing. Like I never, in my hometown, I never witnessed something like this on a sports event. It was phenomenal, and I'm really looking forward to be able to enjoy that atmosphere again.
Yeah, and then as well, we've already mentioned with this being a number one contenders bat as well, being described as. So, do you feel as though getting another title shot in there and being able to get that sort of win, do you see that as being one of the pinnacle of your careers, or do you see it as pretty much just the beginning of something that can be a really great boost for you in your career?
Yes, of course. I had a lot of title fights in my entire career, like all over Europe and Russia. I fought at M1, but this is now a stage. Like the sport got like a huge attention, and before it was like not that well known in Germany like it is now. And I mean, it's like a big opportunity to bring sports to new people and to make it more popular. And to be part of that is really great. And I'm looking forward to fight now and hopefully fight after for the title and win that title too. And I think that will be my legacy. Like I'm 35 years old now, and I think in this stage of my career, it's just an honor for me to be part of something like this huge.
Yeah, and then to touch back on the current fight that's coming up, obviously the magnitude of it's a big fight as well. But do you have any sort of predictions going into that fight for how you see it going? I know you'll be focusing on your own prep as opposed to the opponent, but how do you see the fight going on fight night? You had an ideal way or just a way that you think it's going to go?
Yeah, I'm prepared for everything, and I expect like the strongest Milos Petrasek we ever saw. And I think it will be a high pace fight. Like I always have to put like a high pace in the 3 round fights to make my opponents tired. It's one of my signature strategies, like to be physical, to make my opponents tired, and that will be the game plan too. All aspects: wrestling, grappling, and stand up. Yes, I have to put on a high pace.
Yeah, and then going forward, looking at Octagon MMA as well as a promotion, in terms of obviously you've already mentioned being a big part of a big growing movement as well, being one of the champions under the promotion. Do you feel as though Octagon MMA is the place that you want to stay pretty much for the rest of your career at this stage? Looking at the way that the fighters are treated, the progression, and then also being in the opportunity to be the champion as well in there.
Yeah, of course, that's the plan. But I'm a guy, I'm living in the present. I'm not so much focusing on future stuff or on past stuff. I'm living in the present and I'm enjoying the present. And the present is now that I'm fighting here in Frankfurt at Festhalle. And of course, I want to have like a very successful career, especially in the end of my career, that I can succeed what I imagine as an athlete and as a fighter, like my visualization to make it reality. That's very important for me, and I think that's the goal of every athlete or fighter. And yeah, but as I said before, I'm living in the present, and I'm really looking forward, focusing now on this fight, and not so much thinking about the future.
Yeah, and then just my final question for you, going into this fight, if you could give just one message to your opponent in terms of what he can expect to see from you on fight night. You've mentioned with a high pressure, but if there's anything else he should be looking out for on the night, what does that look like, buddy?
Yeah, as I said, I have a visualization as a fighter what I want to do, and of course will put everything in I trained hard for. And I wish Milos all the best for the rest of the week of training, and also a very good weight cut, and that he is in the shape of his life, because we will put fireworks on Saturday. And I'm sure if I excel the game plan, I will be successful on Saturday. I'm looking forward.
100%. Well, that is everything from me. Obviously, Stephan Puetz, he's Germany's number one, and he's going to be looking to show why. October 15th. If you just want to take a chance, shout out any sort of sponsors, social media platforms, obviously just feel free to go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, I would really to thank my gym, my team, MMA Spirit. They prepared me as always very good, and I'm really happy to represent this team and be part of this team. And of course, to all my sponsors, I want to thank, because they make it possible that I can live the life I live. And yeah, the rest we will see on Saturday. Thank you.
No problem. As mentioned, that's everything from me. As always, appreciate your time very kindly. It's going to be a great show as always. So I appreciate your time very much, buddy.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you for the interview and the opportunity.
Absolute pleasure, my friend. I shall catch you
Hey,
soon. Bye-bye.
have a nice evening. Thank you. Bye-bye. Ciao.
Make sure to subscribe to the LowKick MMA YouTube channel for all the latest news, event previews, and interviews with some of the biggest stars in MMA.